Hi, Celeste. I'm thrilled to welcome you to our video series. Celeste Loh is one of Asia's trailblazers in revenue management and the founder and owner of theREVpeople. For over 20 years, she's worked with some of the best brands and has helped them gain a competitive edge in an extremely competitive market. Celeste, it's a pleasure to have you. Welcome to the video series.
Hey, Dylan. Great to be here, and thanks to the REVnet team for having me.
You're very
Let's
welcome.
start.
Let's do it. So we'll just go ahead and jump right into our first question. That being, how did you find yourself in hospitality, and how did you end up founding theREVpeople?
Okay, so this is going to review my age. I started in the hospitality industry back in 1993. Yes, very, very long ago. And back then, there was really no revenue management department, as we all know. And a few years down the road, I had the GM and the director of rooms approach me and say, hey, we want you to run the reservations and yield department. And they obviously know something that I didn't, because I was shocked. However, I have not stopped being in revenue management, something that I really like, even during my pastimes, because I didn't take up knitting, I just took up revenue management as a practice. So how I, really got into the discipline is, firstly, there was a great faith in me. I didn't want to disappoint them. And, my father taught me when I was growing up that there's a Chinese saying that goes, 活到老,学到老, which means learning never stops, okay, and will remain true till old age. And that we should all take a learning attitude. Revenue management subjects, are really fluid, okay, and we need to take a learning approach to this subject, because if we don't, we're actually taking steps backwards. Okay, it's been interesting all these years. Case in point, I also pursued further studies after I left my hugely successful career in with IHG over a decade. So I was leading the AMEA team until 2012, where I founded theREVpeople. Now, as I expanded my knowledge and experience in revenue management, I really saw an opportunity. I saw patterns in the usual competitors and market statistics, as well as hotel statistics. And I felt that those figures could teach us hoteliers a lot more than just yield management, and making sure that a total revenue approach is being practiced in the field. And everyone in the organization, from the executive office to the front desk, housekeeping, and F&B are aligned, okay, to navigate a really successful execution. Because you got to bring your plans to life. Otherwise, it's as good as piece of paper. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, no, it's true, right? Like, you can only do so much. If you don't have the backing of your team, you could put together the best revenue strategy, but if everybody's not taking part in that across the property or across the group, that's it. It's not going to work,
Yeah,
right?
that's it. Yeah. So bring it to life. And that's what we do.
That's what you do. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for that. And so, jumping into our next question, obviously these are some unusual times, to say the least. And Asia was impacted before all other regions. And so, for folks that maybe aren't in APAC, but those that are, we're curious how things are going there. And also, are you seeing any light at the end of the tunnel in Asia?
Oh, wow. Unusual times. I think that's really an understatement. I
Yeah.
felt like I've been in a cave, and going back into the stone ages, hiding at home.
Yeah.
We are certainly far, from out of the woods. not now, and I don't project until even 2021 and beyond. Okay, but can an individual hotel, be out of the woods sooner than the others? Absolutely, I believe so. Okay, so this is the time, for everyone to strengthen their positioning, and their unique branding. They really got to have a deeper dive into, what they're selling, what they're best at, and the customers that they will keep, and this is the time to set them apart, okay, to win. So don't just go after anyone who pays the bill. But what I'm trying to say, go really after the ones that you want to win and keep. Use best practices, leverage on all the expertise that you can get in your network. Team building will be very key, because I don't think people are in high spirits, high morale. So make sure you gather your team together and build that happy mood, and strive for sustainable revenue performance. And most importantly, I always say, not all revenues are created equal. Go for the profitable revenue. Go for the margins. Many people are using China as a benchmark on how they're recovering. However, we all know outside of China is very unique. Okay, and because within China is very unique in every way, from their brands to the products, okay, to their channels, to their customer mix, lead time, etc. So we can certainly use them, as sources, as references, but your business outside of China is absolutely unique to you, okay? And please don't take a cookie cutter approach, because you got to know what will fit, into your vision, and carry that out, okay? Making sure that your strategies and actions are aligned, right, to your vision. Yeah.
I think it's really nice what you said too about using the time to build not only your connection with your customers, but also your employees. And I think I've experienced this personally at Revenate over the past month of going through this. We've been doing team building Zoom calls and having meetings, game time. But I've found that actually there's, in a lot of ways, it's been an opportunity to build even stronger connections than we had before. So in some ways, it's a good opportunity to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done. Next time I'll join you.
Yeah, we'll have you on next time.
Okay.
So I'll jump over to my next question. I had this prepared, but I gotta add one thing to it. So you've worked in many aspects of a hotel. So you told me front desk now. That's where you started, right?
Yes.
So, but I had sales and operations in there before. But what are some innovative things that you've seen in these different departments that we could be learning from you?
Oh gosh, this is gonna upset a few
No pressure.
people. Innovative. Let's see. So I asked myself, if I were to use a hotel company or someone else in the world as a benchmark, right? And I chose Apple, right? So if we use Apple as a benchmark, we haven't really had any remarkable innovation as an industry. Okay. But after all, we're still calling porter service bellman. Where in the past, there's a bell at the desk and you ding, the bellman will come, at your service. We don't do that anymore, but we still, name them that way. Okay, so imagine that. Even now as well, there's a tendency to just focus on top line and market share. Okay, and going back to internal stakeholders and ask, what do we want? What kind of product should we offer and services we should have, right? So while that's important, it needs to balance with figuring out what the customers, today and tomorrow would need or they want. Take for example Steve Jobs, what he did. Okay, If he ask all of us, hey, what would you like out of a phone? What would we say? Oh, better dial pads, different colors, expand on the diary option or note function, and so on. We would never have, these gadgets. Okay. That say, back to our industry, I think the biggest innovation is still technological advances. A good property management system, a good revenue management system, one that really collects and analyzes data, right? Data is new oil, right? Has science built into it, because humans can only do that much, okay? But as well, most importantly, we always need humans supporting this technology to truly optimize, okay? And engineer best practices, in the business, and to drive that change process, to get everyone, to adopt, technology right into their operations. Okay, that way we can truly optimize and drive right that bottom line profitability. Okay, so we really need to break barriers, and I think revenue management should be acting as a change manager, okay, to drive that high adoption rate, whether they buy a solution from Revinet, or a revenue management system out there. Okay, it's very critical to incorporate that technology into the business and rally the team to utilize them.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say that, and I think about the different experiences I have as a I've been a sales rep selling Revenat's products for a long time, and some of the better calls that I've had is when you get all aspects of the business interested in everything. Like, I have calls where we're showing our email marketing platform, and you have the revenue folks that are on that call, and you can see that they understand that that has an impact on driving revenue, and the types of campaigns that are done and how good and robust the system is has a big impact on that. And they don't just write it off to, hey, that's email marketing and that's just our marketing manager's job. It's really exciting to see folks that get involved in all parts of the business and understand the impact it can have.
Yeah, I think it's great that Revenue is also, pushing that across. More awareness is definitely needed, right? Everybody plays a part.
Cool. Well, for now, I'm going to end it there. That'll be part 1 of our video, and we'll come back with part 2 at another time. But thank you so much.
Thank you, Dylan. See you again.
All right.